from KTVU, Fox 2, San Francisco. Governor Newsom signs bills to combat deepfake election content. So it sounds like he assigned more than one of these bills, and perhaps there needs to be a little bit of regulation, I guess, surrounding AI and deepfakes and all that stuff. But clearly, scumbag, greaseball, bang your wife, Governor Gavin Newsom is not the man for the job. He is terrible and has been that way for a very long time. Remember when he was mayor of San Francisco? All the way back in 2008, he claimed that he had a 10-year plan to end homelessness in the city.
Problem of those that are out on the streets that we define as homeless, we better solve the housing problem if we're going to have an impact. And that's why we established this framework, what we call a 10-year plan to end chronic homeless in San Francisco.
Obviously, the date came and went, and the homelessness population has only ballooned exponentially. He also stepped out on his wife to sleep with his then best friend and campaign manager's wife. He blamed it on the alcohol and went into some weird outpatient program. But maybe that was just a, California swingers lifestyle thing or whatever.
I want to make it clear that everything you've heard and read is true. And I am deeply sorry about that.
So he graduated up the ladder, became governor of the entire state, and then shut it down to keep people safe from Rona. Meanwhile, he went to the French Laundry and told everybody else they should probably just stay home.
At 4:30, and as soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated. And I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up and walked back, got in my car, and drove back to my house. Instead, I chose to sit there with my wife and a number of other couples that were outside the household. And you can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you.
Then he hiked the minimum wage all over the state, I believe, but most specifically for fast food workers so they could get more money. But there was a carve out for bakeries, so his Panera buddies didn't have to deal with it. And obviously, he owns at least one restaurant, but he wasn't going to do it either because it's a real restaurant. It has nothing to do with fast food. So I'm not going to give them any more money.
Governor Gavin Newsom not too long ago announced the California minimum wage would be going up to $20 an hour for fast food workers starting on April 1st. But now we're learning that some companies, as you mentioned, will be exempt from this, which brings us to Panera Bread. Because of the franchise, they bake bread at their restaurants. They are not considered fast food according to this new minimum wage law.
And it seems like he is still at it. He's trying to make California look a little bit better on the national stage so he can help Kamala Harris out and position himself a little bit for 2028. Either way, my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you want to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
Dreamforce is officially underway in San Francisco. The start of the conference was headlined with a conversation between Governor Newsom and Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff just this afternoon.
The two men discussed the impact of artificial intelligence across the state of California, as well as guardrails lawmakers are working to put up.
AI, how it's just exploded in our consciousness. It's, not lost on me that 32 of the top 50 AI companies, market cap, are all here in California. Truth and trust. The stress, anxiety, promise, peril, all of it just sort of dominating our consciousness. And right now, for me, I got 991 bills on my desk. And
life just must be so hard for you. You have all these bills that you have to maybe read through, but probably not, and sign or throw in the trash either way.
38 of them are in this space.
And while on stage, the governor did sign 3 bills to combat deep fake election content. The new laws include requirements for large online platforms to remove or label deceptive or altered content related to elections. Another requires election ads using AI-generated or altered content to include a disclosure.
Okay, I don't know if he had this. He was probably working on this already, but he went into hyperdrive after that Mr. Reagan parody clip, which he did label parody, went viral, and then Elon Musk retweeted it. He's like, "We're gonna write a bill to stop this," and you're like, "Dude, parody is legal." Right now, at least. And this guy's putting on a whole show. Look at me, I have the bills right here in my pocket. Bro, you're a scumbag. And here's another one from ABC7 San Diego. California lawmakers to debate Newsom's oil and gas proposal. So once again, he creates a problem and then tells you that he's the only person that's going to be able to solve it.
6:06 right now. Governor Gavin Newsom says he has a plan to lower prices at the pump to help those trying to make it in the Bay.
No, you're the one that skyrocketed the prices. You're the one that's implementing these weirdo taxes in this summertime, all of these nonsensical things that you use to create skyrocketing prices, and then of course create a dependent class and throw them a little bit of pennies, right? And pretend that you're the good guy. But now he's claiming that he's going to bring down the gas prices. He's absolutely not. You also claimed, of course, that you were going to stop homelessness. The list goes on. These people are absolutely terrible. And it is mind-boggling how some folks, as they say, can't see through this.
A live look at the state capitol where lawmakers will soon discuss the proposal.
Today in the Bay's Bob Riddell live for us in Alameda County. And Bob, do we know what the governor's suggesting here?
We have a good idea, yes. Good morning to you, Laura and Marcus. First of all, if you've been at the gas station recently to fill up a gallon of gas or several gallons in your car, you'll notice that the prices have spiked. At this Chevron behind me, for instance, in Dublin, gallon of gas at $5.39. So you can see we're back into the $5 range.
Yeah, more than $5 a gallon. It's half that in other parts of the country. And he is pretending that, I thought you didn't have control of it, bro. The prices spiked, right? They did the same thing with Bo Biden. Like, well, the president doesn't control gas prices when they go up. But when they go down, it's all because he did something amazing.
Some of these locations, unfortunately. The state's Division of Petroleum Market Oversight says that this jump at the pump is due to unplanned maintenance at 2 Bay Area refineries. To get to your question, what Governor Newsom is proposing is new rules to avoid this kind of price spike. He wants to give state regulators the power to force oil refiners to have a backup oil supply for these kinds of unplanned.
Yeah, he wants to force people. It doesn't even matter what he wants to force them to do. It's too late. You've done it all. And this is just another leg in this weirdo commie takeover falls right in line with the price gauging controls that Kamala Harris was talking about.
The first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
Maintenances and outages. So starting tomorrow, a special committee led by a Democrat in the Assembly will begin to hold 3 hearings over the next week and a half to dive into this issue. Now, the Western States Petroleum Association, they advocate on behalf of the oil industry. They tell our sister station, KCRA3 in Sacramento, that the new tanks to hold Newsom's proposed backup oil are $35 million a pop and would take years to build because of California's strict environmental regulations.
It's another regulation, right? And we've seen this. Maybe a year or so ago, there was some refinery that was going to overhaul to go green and be cleaner, but the update wasn't up to environmental standards. So it is quite obviously a rock in a hard place.
And restrictions. Those are costs the associations say refiners would then pass on to the customer, which would actually make gas more expensive not only here in California, but in Arizona and Nevada as well. Again, that is their argument. Republicans in Sacramento, they have also introduced several bills in Sacramento during this special legislative session aimed at reducing the cost of gasoline, including a suspension of the state's gas tax and blocking the future attempts to try to reinstate or raise that if they were to first get it to be suspended in the first place. Reporting live here in Dublin, Bob Riddell.
Yeah, okay, bro. And I think the governors of Nevada and Arizona, or maybe New Mexico, one of them, I think they're all Democrats, say, maybe you shouldn't do this because prices are going to spike in the surrounding area. But he probably doesn't care. In fact, he wants it to, so he can continue to create the government-dependent class. And I don't know if anybody thinks for one split second you can wrap this up, you can put lipstick on a pig or whatever it is you want to do. But as soon as, largely, almost all politicians get close to anything, they are going to turn it into trash. But clearly, when Democrats get close to anything and pretend they're going to help you, it only does the exact opposite, which shouldn't be surprising to anybody. Think about the Inflation Reduction Act. How did that work out? And here's one more, really quickly, just to prove the point that when these people get close to anything, they are going to ruin it, right? They already taxed a whole bunch of cannabis businesses right out of operation. And now he says Californians are panic buying hemp before expected THC ban. So the biggest cities in your state are already open air drug markets. There used to be weed stores on almost every corner until you taxed them out of business. Then a whole bunch of people started creating these new legal, well, I guess everything's legal in San Francisco, so I don't even know what you're planning to do. You legalized everything, and now you're going to reverse that and ban it just to put more money in your pocket, in the pocket of your weirdo cronies. It's the same thing in New York. Well, we're going to legalize cannabis, but not really. We're going to legalize it for a couple of stores, so we clearly get our kickback. And they say, Governor Gavin Newsom has set off a surge of panic buying hemp after his announcement earlier this month that he's attempting to outlaw hemp THC products, a category of cannabis sold outside of licensed marijuana stores. So there you go. If you don't sell it through the approved avenues where I get my kickback, we're going to put you out of business. And if you think of anything else, we're going to get rid of that too. And if we don't put you out of business, then we're going to unleash the criminal thugs on you so they can smash your windows until you, one way or other, go out of business and become part of the government-dependent class in California.
If you're going to be homeless, it's pretty fucking easy here. I mean, if we're going to be realistic, they pay you to be homeless here.
When you said that San Francisco pays people to be homeless, what did you mean by that? You mean that literally?
Yeah. I mean, I get $620 a month, dude.
From general assistance,
yeah.
Or how was that hard to get?
Fucking phone call, bro.
Wow.
Fucking phone call. 200 food stamps and $620 cash a month.
Wow.
Forget about it. Why wouldn't I do it?